What's up, witches? Luna here with a quick reading of the full moon chart for July 23rd, 2021. This full moon happens at 10:36 p.m. in the Eastern time zone. Adjust it for your own time zone, please. I have a few things that I want to talk about here. First of all, let's talk about this full moon. Sun in Leo, moon in Aquarius at 1 degree of those signs. This means that we're going to have 2 full moons in Aquarius. The second one happens on August 22nd at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So this is a true blue moon. You hear about blue moons being, 2 full moons in a calendar month. But to me, calendar months are like almost arbitrary. So let's look at 2 full moons in an astrological sign as a true blue moon. The sun-moon polarity in Leo Aquarius is about personal expression and deep-rooted ideas about security or feeling of lack of security. Because the moon in Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus's energy is sudden, unpredictable, erratic, our security is challenged with this full moon. Sun in Leo says, time to really shine my light. But the moon in Aquarius can feel insecure about that, but also can feel sort of rebellious about that. I'm going to shine my light. I'm going to say what I need to say regardless, because the sign of Aquarius also brings in that rebellious kind of nature. Certainly is not great for settled emotions, okay? Emotions all over the place, and the fact that it is a fixed full moon makes it more potent. The fixed signs are the powerhouses of the zodiac. When we have full moons and fixed signs, they run hot. So remember that. Let's look down at the graphs. That's the word. And first of all, apologies because I'm having a real hard time putting words together today. We have a predominance of fire, followed closely by water. That means that we're going to be feeling very passionate, very assertive, very hot-headed. And water just behind it says emotions are right behind that, so we could be just a little bit hot-headed is the best way I can say that. Just a little bit of a hair trigger here. Down at the bottom we have fixed and mutable, with a high score of both of those, and they are absolutely equal with each other. But cardinal comes in as a shortfall. What this says is not a good time to kick off anything new. We're not going to be feeling like starting new things on this full moon. I mean, new moon is when you start new things, right? But this one, we're not even going to feel like starting new things. Mutable talks about adjustments, change, and endings. Fixity is about seeing something through. So I would say for your spell work, look at what adjustments I need to make in order to finish something, in order to bring something to fruition. All right. Now, let's look at the other aspects. A very interesting thing here is that we have both the sun and the moon in conjuncting one of the benefics. We have the moon in conjuncting Venus. So with the moon in Aquarius making us feel a little bit erratic, like our security is sort of rocking and rolling, in conjuncting Venus, we might cope with this discomfort through material things, through physical pleasures, through spending money, through eating lots of good food, through seeking affection. All of these things say we need to adjust between what our emotional needs are and what our physical needs are and desires are as well. So that sets us up to kind of wanting to take care of our emotions through physical pleasures. Then the sun being our self-expression and Jupiter being expansion principle, we are going to have to adjust how far we go with our personal expression. Let's also look at the fact that Jupiter is at 0 degrees of Pisces in the sign that it used to rule. And that's talking about compassion and generosity and being able to give. So the adjustment here is between our personal expression and how what we want to give to others. what we want to do for the greater good. So there's that tension of I have something to say, and what does the culture really need from me in terms of generosity, in terms of compassion, in terms of the expression of my spirituality. So there's an adjustment that needs to be made there as well. We also have an inconjunct between Mars and Pluto, both of the planets that rule Scorpio. Pluto is my absolute will, and brings in that manipulative, dominant energy. And then we've got Mars, which is the aggression in the moment. The what do I want to say? Hair trigger. I'm going to be repeating things a lot because my brain is just not giving me words easily today. So we're going to have to really adjust between the things that we desire and how far we're willing to go to get those things. That's the adjustment between Pluto and Mars, that we might really want something, and to the point where we just want to steamroll and, walk over everybody to get it. We need to adjust those things because that's not going to work. So I'm looking at these really standout inconjuncts in this chart and thinking, because of the adjustments that they call for, they might also be bringing in a frustrated energy that makes us want to adjust. That's how we learn that something needs to be adjusted, is that we're confronting frustrations, or we're confronting things that just aren't working. We're confronting disconnects on a pretty intense and personal scale. The sun, moon being very personal. And, with Venus and Mars and Jupiter involved here, we've got all of the inner planets involved, except for Mercury. But what Mercury does here is trines Neptune. I was looking at the opposition, but that's too wide. Mercury does not oppose Pluto here, but it does trine Neptune. So what gift does this bring us? Remember that trines are talents and gifts. Mercury is communication, mental faculties. Here in Cancer, that's ruled by the moon, which says that the way our thoughts go right now is absolutely down to how we're feeling, that our emotions color our thought processes. When we throw a trine to Neptune in there, we could be very prone to just fantasies, to imagining all sorts of things. Just because it's a trine doesn't mean it's going to be good. It means it's easy. So this says that our thoughts, which are ruled by our emotions right now, that it's very easy to escape into fantasy about it. The upside of that is it's very easy to escape into spiritual things, very easy to do trance work and communicate your emotions and put things, into a form that helps us understand our emotions on an intellectual basis. So there's that. So great for trance work. And with both Neptune and Jupiter in the sign that they rule currently or formerly, there's a lot of Piscean energy, a lot of, that Piscean energy that's syncing up. What does that mean? We can be exceptionally sensitive. We can be exceptionally compassionate and very spiritual. We can expand our spiritual ideas. Ooh, there goes a big branch. We've been watching this thing that's getting ready to fall down, and yikes. Anyhow, let's see what else we might have. Other things are just too wide to be an aspect, so I'm not going to talk about those. But there's plenty to deal with here. Really deal with what's making you feel uncomfortable, what's making you want to rebel, what feelings are making you want to bail out and do something nonconformist. That's the moon in Aquarius there. What are you feeling drawn to spiritually? Are you feeling drawn to, practice this moon Neptune trine is a fabulous time. Oh my God, a fabulous time to dedicate your divination tools. Absolutely wonderful time to do that, to call in that spirit of divination. So there's plenty of energy that we can use to have some fabulous trancy ritual here, but we also really need to reckon with what we want, what our will is, and how we're going to adjust that for the greater good, how we're going to keep ourselves from overindulging, from wanting to just escape into everything that feels good, how we can not put our own personal expression at the expense of what is benefiting the greater good, all of this kind of stuff. A lot of tension here, a lot of interesting adjustments that need to be made. Focus on, what do I have to bring to culmination? What is it that needs to be finished up here so that I can move on to the new moon in Leo, which is all about kicking off that personal expression. And then, when you do that for the Leo new moon, you will have the Aquarius full moon to follow that and bring it to culmination in a much more organic and natural way than we've been doing with these wonky backwards new and full moon cycles. All right, you guys, I hope you got something out of that. As they say, 5th time's a charm. Please leave your comments below and your questions. I'm happy to answer them. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. If you think this was really worth it, drop me $1 or $2 on the donation buttons below. Please and thank you. Nothing is too small. I am very grateful for everything that you share with me. All right, I'll see you next time. This is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.